from Boston?
All day from Boston.
Just to come do this?
Just to come do this.
Oh
Come
my
to the
God.
Midland Nebraska flying a 43-year-old airliner.
I love it.
What's going on, guys? Casey Flair here, and welcome back to another trip report. Today we are in Denver, and we're going to be flying on Denver Air Connection's Fairchild Metroliner from here out to a place called Alliance out in Nebraska, and then taking that back here to Denver. This is going to be a really unique one because the aircraft we're going to be on is like 43 years old, so very old. By far the oldest aircraft I've ever flown on. So yeah, I just got here a little bit ago from Boston, so let's get to it. It felt absolutely great to be back at the Denver airport, having been here since April of 2019. I had a couple of hours to kill, so I walked around Concourse A, where I'd be departing. After a while, I got myself a pre-flight snack since there wouldn't be any service on the Metroliner due to the lack of cabin crew. Me being the New England kid that I am, I secured it from Dunkin'. This is not the OG Dunkin'. Look, I know, I'm from Boston, but hey, I started Dunkin'. It's a natural reflex. The online check-in process for this airline is extremely simple. All I had to do is put in my confirmation number, push a single button, and I was good to go. I did have to get my boarding pass at the gate, however. Fisher, F-A-S-H-E-R. Finally, it came time to board after hanging out in the terminal. My old workhorse to Alliance was November 882 Delta Charlie. She was delivered new to Hainan Airlines in China in June of 1997, then on to Alta Flights up in Canada. I couldn't find the delivery date for that, and finally to Key Lime Air, aka Denver Air Connection, in April of 2000. I walked past the Denver Air Connection ARJ and Dornier to get to my 43-year-old Metroliner to get me to Alliance. The first officer took my photo with the plane, and so far, my impressions of the Denver Air Connection crew were pretty hard to beat. I got on, and since I was the last one on, I made my way to seat 1C, which was also the last open seat. I could tell why nobody wanted to sit here due to how low and limited the legroom was due to the closet in front, and how much legroom the other side. The first officer also gave me a separate safety briefing since I was the last one on.
We're going to Alliance if you want to go there.
That's right, yep. Metroliner?
Yep. Captain, just put the fire extinguisher located in the closet right up here. That's where it's going to be.
Okay.
Carburetor remove from the bracket. Hold up.
Awesome, yeah.
This will be pretty sporty down there in Alliance.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
And release.
That's complete.
Fuel quantity and balance. Will be 1200 required.
Yeah, we got 1600 more minutes.
AC and briefing.
And hey,
Parking brake.
that is off.
And less than 5 minutes later, we are on our way to runway 8.
7.
Trying to see out the combination of the dirty window and the sun in my face, we leveled off at an altitude of 17,000 feet. I was able to enjoy the instrumentation as we were in flight as the flight deck was wide open. After a very uneventful 46 minutes in the air, we commenced our very gusty descent into the lost world of Alliance. How does it feel to be flying like one of the oldest passenger airlines in the country?
That's awesome.
I know, right? Yeah. It's pretty different eclectic up here, isn't it? Yeah. What was your total flight time from Denver?
Oh, let's see. It was 43 minutes.
Oh, nice. That's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting because I was sitting in like the first seat. Let's like actually like see inside the flight deck, and, like what y'all were doing.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Like my head was like squinting like at the avionics, like probably 80% of the time I was trying to like squint in. Yeah. Even though I'd be getting on the exact same plane back to Denver in about 20 minutes, I started to get off and clear TSA all over again, which ended up being a lot more complicated than it should have been because my genius self actually forgot my ID back at Denver. But that's another story.
Boston?
All day from Boston.
Just to come do this?
Just to come do this.
Oh
come
my
to the
God.
Midland Nebraska flying a 43-year-old airliner.
I love it. That's awesome.
Dedication, isn't it?
That's pretty awesome.
See you in a bit. Okay, here we are in Alliance. Honestly, this doesn't feel like an airport at all. This is unreal. Like easily the smallest airport I've ever been in. Almost 43-year-old airplane. This is unreal. How you doing? I don't have it with me.
You don't have your ID?
No, I don't. It's back in Denver. Sorry.
How'd you get here?
I just gave him my information, and then they just give me a boarding pass.
I don't know how to get through TSA.
Can I just show you like a photo of it?
Hey Jake, come here real quick.
Sounds good. Yeah, so just sit here. After finally confirming my identity with TSA, I then had to do a full pat-down screening, but then not long after, it was time to leave the tiny FBO back to Denver. My YouTube is KSCA Flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what you do, just like fly around? And
Yeah, flight sim and just these trip reports on flying on planes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I love it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So I came all the way from Boston this morning.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? Yeah.
And then where are you going? Alright, I'll go on board the rest.
After Denver, I'm just going home.
Back to
Yeah.
Boston?
Exactly, yeah. There you go again.
Wow, that got sorted.
Yes, sir. See ya. I made my way back to 5C with a significant amount more legroom, and the window was far cleaner. For the quick trip back to Denver, I used this time to talk about the Raleigh rating for this flight. If you don't know what my Raleigh rating scale is, it's my method of rating a flight at the end of each flight. The service was an easy 10 out of 10. The pilots were absolutely phenomenal, and they knew I was an enthusiast from the start, and I didn't even have to ask to visit the flight deck, and we just bonded really well. The Wi-Fi was not applicable. The cleanliness was a 5 out of 10. The only part I'm penalizing is my window, specifically because it was so dirty and hard to see out of. Very little fault of the airline because most of the other windows were crystal clear, including the one I was on the flight back. The food was not applicable. The entertainment, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because absolutely nothing beats watching pilots live, and it seriously felt like I was in a jump seat. I'm going to go ahead and give the seat a 4 out of 10 just because it was anything you'd expect from a little old prop plane. It was small, bare bone, no amenities, not even a tray table. But the one thing I will note is that I had literally miles of legroom on the way back to Denver. And although only 2 categories came out as a perfect 10, just because of the uniqueness of the flight, I'm going to give it overall a 10 out of 10. So the overall Raleigh rating is going to be a 10 out of 10. It's just a really old plane. It's really rare. This is like one of the last of its kind, like commercially flying in the country. Like, so this is like the last plane of its kind that you can like book on. Yeah.
I've flown on it many times, and only in the last year have I realized that there's an interest in this plane.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah.
You guys coming?
Yeah, we are. We're just talking about the plane. Yeah.
Causing all that trouble?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just added the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess you gotta have all that on you at all times.
I know, yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? He flew here, he's fine.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, he's got 10 more checks he's gonna pass. But
Oh, well, there you go.
anyway, hey, thanks for coming all the way from Boston.
Yeah, no, thanks for the
I'm
experience.
glad you enjoyed it.
I did, yeah.
Well,
Thank you. What are your names?
I'm Charles.
Charles and
Jerry.
I'm Garley.
All right, nice to meet you.
You too, thank you. Yeah, it's like, this is like one of the last ones in the country, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's like the last commercial one in the country. at least.
There's one other company that operates them, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know the name.
Yeah. Well, at least in the US.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. It's very, very rare aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like to think, like some people like, you know, fly on that to like commute.
Yeah.
Like it's still an essential air service, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome back to Denver. So long story short, back in Alliance, I actually forgot my ID and wallet here in Denver. So I actually I couldn't show it back at the check-in area in Alliance and TSA back in Alliance. So we had to do some identity stuff and do some like extra pre-checks before I got on. So that was a process that took a while, but TSA was really chill about it. So a huge shout out to the all the TSA and staff over in Alliance for being patient with me. For me, just being the idiot that I am and just forgot my ID here in Denver, so I couldn't use it to check in and through TSA and Alliance. But anyway, now I'm here. We got on. Very, very amazing crew. And yeah, just awesome experience overall on a 43-year-old turboprop Denver Air Connection. But yeah, I was talking to a guy right as I was deplaning that he flies on that flight like on a regular basis, like as commuting, and he was telling me about the video that Noah Phillips actually put out when he actually flew in during that big snowstorm. So huge coincidence, small world. Show how small of a community that Alliance really is. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for the Metroliner. Again, really unique experience on that old turboprop. By far the oldest plane I've ever flown on. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next trip report. Bye.